Welcome to ClockInMaster. In this guide, time clock. Everything the screen on the wall does in one go. This is the tablet by the door, and for most people, it is the whole of ClockInMaster. It sits on one screen all day, showing the shop it belongs to, the date, and the time. And that clock is the one that counts, not the one on your phone. There is no login and nothing to remember except 4 digits. Everybody in the building shares this one screen, which is exactly why it asks for a PIN rather than a name. The person behind you in the queue should not learn who is on today just by standing there. Type your PIN. It shows as dots so nobody can read it over your shoulder, and your own card comes up with your name on it. It says ready, and the clock is on 0. Press clock in and you are on shift. That is the entire job, about 4 seconds. The screen drops back to the keypad straight away so the next person can go, which is what makes this work at 8 in the morning when 6 of you arrive together. One thing worth knowing, the time that gets recorded is the time you press the button, not the time your shift was supposed to start. If you are rostered for 9 and you clock in at 10 past is what goes down. That is not the system being harsh. It is the whole point of it. It records what happened. And everything after this, your hours, your pay, your manager's reports, is built on that one honest number. Put your PIN in again while you are on shift, and the card tells you where you stand. It says working rather than ready, and there is a running total of the time you have done today. Underneath are your sessions and your break time, and your own details, your ID, your role, your department, and which shop this is. It is worth a glance now and then. If the card says ready when you know you have been on the floor for 2 hours, you did not clock in, and the sooner you notice, the easier that is to put right. Breaks go through the same screen. Pin in, press start break, and the clock stops. This matters more than people think. An unrecorded break is the single most common reason a payslip does not match what somebody expected. And it cuts both ways, because a break you took but never logged makes your day look longer than it was, and one you logged but never took makes it look shorter. Depending on how your shop is set up, you may be asked which kind of break you are taking, because some breaks are paid and some are not, and the two are counted differently. If you get that choice, take a second over it. If you do not, your manager has already decided how breaks work here, and there is nothing for you to do but press the button. Coming back is the same move. Pin in, and the card shows you are on a break with the break time counting up. Press end break, and you are working again. If you forget this one, the system still thinks you are on your break, and you will be short on the day. Getting into the habit of ending the break the moment you walk back in is worth more than any amount of correcting it afterwards. And if you are wondering whether a 5-minute step outside counts, ask your manager rather than guessing. Every shop runs this differently, and the rules live in the settings on this same tablet rather than in anybody's head. At the end of the day, pin in one last time and press clock out. Before you do, look at today's activity underneath. Every session you have worked and every break you have taken, with the times against them. That list is exactly what your manager sees on their side, and it is what your hours are worked out from. So if something on it looks wrong, say so on the day, while everybody can still remember what actually happened. Plenty of people work a day in 2 halves. A lunch shift, off for the afternoon, back for the evening. You do not need to do anything different. Clock out when you leave, and when you come back, pin in and clock in again. The card starts a second session, and today's activity lists them separately with a total across both. Nobody has to add anything up, and you are not penalized for the gap in the middle. 2 things go wrong on this screen, and neither is a disaster. Put the wrong pin in, and nothing happens. It simply does not find anybody, so try again. The other one is forgetting to clock out, and that is the one worth knowing about, because a shift with no end is worth nothing at all until somebody fixes it. You cannot fix it here. This screen only records what is happening now. You fix it from the staff app on your phone by asking for a time change, and your manager approves it. There is a separate video on exactly that. Along the top, there are tabs: Home, Reports, Staff, and Settings. And staff pins do not open them. They want the admin pin, which is the point. The same tablet is the clock for everybody and the office for whoever runs the place. Reports gives you the day-to-day report, the clock-in tracker, aggregated totals, analytics, and store comparison, all without walking to a computer. The Staff tab is the full list of everybody with their pins, which is why it is behind the same lock. Settings is the same story. The roster, labor cost, time change requests, time off, tasks, departments, the time clock rules, finance, report preferences, and the staff app settings are all reachable from the tablet on the wall. Most owners will do the heavy work on the web dashboard on a proper screen. But when you need to change one thing in the middle of service, you do not have to go anywhere to do it. Open the day-to-day report, and you get exactly what it says. One day at a time, everybody who was in, when they clocked in and out, and what that came to. This is the one a manager looks at most, usually the morning after, and usually because something needs checking. Somebody says they were in at 8, the report says 9. Neither of you has to remember because the tablet wrote it down at the time. And because it is on the wall rather than on a computer in an office, you can settle it there and then, in front of the person asking, which is worth more than being right 3 days later. Under Settings, Time Clock is where the behavior of this screen is decided, and it is worth knowing these exist even if you never touch them. Whether clock-in times get rounded and to what. Whether somebody who forgets to clock out is closed off automatically at the end of the day or left open for a human to look at. Whether breaks are paid. Whether staff can use the phone app to clock in at all or only this tablet. None of that changes what you press. All of it changes what the numbers come out as. So if 2 shops in the same group produce different-looking reports, this is usually where the difference is. So, 3 screens, 1 set of numbers. This tablet is the clock. It records what is happening right now, and it is the only one of the 3 that does. The phone app in your pocket is for everything that is not right now, checking your hours, looking at next week's rota, asking for a day off, or asking for a wrong clock time to be put right. And the web dashboard is where whoever runs the place builds the rota, answers those requests, and turns all of it into wages. Nothing is typed twice. What you press on this screen at the start of your shift is what shows up on their report at the end of the month, and there is nothing in between that can quietly change it. That is it. Download the app now from the Play Store or App Store and take control of your business.